This is Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Now from the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, here's your host, Eric Wilson.
Welcome and thanks for spending part of your weekend with us again. Happy Veterans Day weekend, and thanks to all of our veterans who serve and continue to serve. Last week, you watched Byron take out Hononegah by only a couple of questions. It was a relatively close game. Could happen again this week, too. Let's say hello to our teams, shall we? First of all, it's the Belvidere North Blue Thunder. Let's keep the applause going for them. Blue Thunder have actually been part of Quiz Bowl since the beginning, so all 10 seasons, and they are pretty decorated. They are tied for second in all-time wins. They've appeared in our finale 3 times, and of course, you may remember they were our champions in Season 8. Brock and the rest of the team remember that well. Maybe a repeat for them, who knows? Brock's the captain. Introduce us to your starting lineup, Brock.
Sure, so hi, I'm Brock, and on my right we have Ethan and Paulo, and on my left is Dannon.
Welcome to the Belvidere North Blue Thunder, taking on the Newman Central Comets, or should we say Comet. Welcome, Riley. This is Newman Central's 7th year competing. You might remember the first year they competed, they actually went all the way to the finale. And Newman decided that they only needed one person to take on Belvidere North, and that's Riley. Riley is the captain. He is the team. You don't even need to introduce your whole team because you are it. It'll make things a lot easier for you in those conferring rounds, won't it, Riley? We're glad you're here. So everybody grab your buzzers. Good luck, because our buzzing round is how we begin every game of Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. We are going to start with this question. What character created by Derek Kolstad is declared excommunicado from the Continental in a 2017 sequel and is Ethan?
John Wick.
That's right, an assassin played by Keanu Reeves. That's how we get started this week. What human character titles crossover series in which he fights a kingdom war with the Rabbids and takes part in the Olympics with Brock?
Raymond?
Incorrect. I will finish for Riley with Sonic the Hedgehog. Go ahead, Riley.
Mario.
That is right. Super Mario Brothers reboot just came out a few weeks ago for Nintendo Switch. The Horror Writers Association presents awards named for what Irish author who described Jonathan Harker's trip? Dannon.
Bram Stoker.
Say that again?
Bram Stoker.
Stoker, correct. Jonathan Harker's trip to Transylvania in the novel Dracula. A group of football clubs called the Old Firm are based in what most populous city in Scotland? That was Glasgow. Almost 600,000 people there, roughly, in Scotland. No answer there. New question. What quantity, which equals charge divided by voltage, measures the ability of its namesake circuit component to store charge and is given in farads? Ethan.
Capacitor.
Capacitor. You said capacitor? That is incorrect. Riley? Go ahead.
Battery.
Incorrect. Capacitance. We needed the quantity. You gave the component. What school of thought includes the idea of xiao, or filial piety, is expounded in such books as the Analects and is named for a Chinese thinker? Brock.
Confucianism.
Confucianism is right. Know what you know and what you do not know. That is true knowledge. Confucius quote that kind of fits our game here. What type of value is returned by a dot product but not a cross product and has a magnitude but not a direction? Opposite of a vector, that's a scalar. What former governor of California led the commission that investigated the assassination of John F. Kennedy? The commission was the Warren Commission, named after Earl Warren. What piano piece, subtitled Quasi una Fantasia, opens with repeated C-sharp minor arpeggios, is by Ludwig van Beethoven and has a nocturnal nickname? Brock.
Moonlight Sonata.
Moonlight Sonata is correct. Official name is the Piano Sonata, number 14. What island, whose city of Gander is the setting of the musical Come From Away, contains the provincial capital St. John's and is east of Labrador? Brock.
Nova Scotia.
Incorrect. Riley, you could take these points. Go ahead.
Newfoundland?
Newfoundland is correct, and you can actually see Come From Away this February at Rockford's Coronado Theater. What empire, one of whose leaders promoted the syncretic religion Diniyalahi, built the Taj Mahal under Shah Jahan and was led by Ethan?
Mughal?
Mughal is correct, led by Akbar the Great. And sorry for those mispronunciations. You got it anyway. Kathy Ames gives birth to twin boys named Cal and Aaron in what novel by John Steinbeck that is set in the Salinas Valley? Brock.
Grapes of Wrath.
Incorrect. Riley, you could take these points. Also in development is a series for Netflix that's East of Eden. What constellation contains the Teapot asterism as well as the supermassive black hole? Brock?
Sagittarius.
That's right. At the center of the Milky Way is also called the Archer. And that is how we end the round. Belvidere North's in the lead with 60 points. But Riley, you are doing pretty great, my man. You're up to 20 points. We've got a lot of game left to play, too. One round done of 3, and our next one is called volleyball. It's after this. We're back for our volleyball round here in this week's edition of Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Here's our score situation. Belvidere North has 60 and Riley has 20. Riley's here representing Newman Central. We're keeping a theme going that we have for this entire season 10 so far, is that neither of these teams have ever faced each other. Before we get to our volleyball round, a special thank you to our judge today, Michelle Markham, who's the marketing director for the Rockford Police Department. She's our judge, but also a longtime friend of the show here and friend of ours here on the staff. So Michelle, we appreciate you spending time with us today, and thanks for being here. All right, let's head on to our volleyball round. Because of the flip, Riley, you get the first question. Are you ready? And remember, advice, I would give this to both teams. Riley, you don't have anybody to consult with, but Brock, remember, you guys can consult, work as a team when you come up with the answers, but the answer has to come from you, Brock. Same thing for you, Riley. Here's your first question. Are you ready? Here we go. What Dutch artist from the De Stijl movement painted Broadway Boogie Woogie and many works with black lines and primary color rectangles? That is a super tough art question. Pete Mondrian. Belvidere North, here is your first question of the round. Which king, who was excommunicated by Pope Paul III and who dissolved England's monasteries, had his wives Catherine Howard and Anne Boleyn executed?
Henry VIII.
That is right. The musical Six on Broadway is about his wives. Riley, what surname is shared by a woman whose 1971 album Pearl includes Me and Bobby McGee and the composer of The Entertainer, called the King of Ragtime? We're talking about Janis and Scott Joplin. Back to Belvidere North. What type of eye, which is common among arthropods, is composed of thousands of ommatidia that each have their own lens?
I don't know. Me neither.
Lenticular.
Incorrect. Compound eyes. Riley. What service, which has been used in Ukraine since Russia invaded, is a broadband internet service developed by SpaceX using satellites in low orbit?
Link?
So close. Sometimes you could actually see a trail of these in the sky at night. Starlink. You had the link correct on that. Back over to Belvidere North. What title monarch is relieved to learn of the death of Polybus in a play by Sophocles, but blinds himself after realizing he married his own mother?
Oedipus.
That's right. That's where we get that phrase Oedipus complex. Back to Riley at Newman Central. In 1793, Charlotte Corday, a Girondin sympathizer, was guillotined for murdering what Jacobin in his bathtub? He was a leader during the French Revolution, Jean-Paul Marat. Back to Belvidere North. What city is the judicial capital of South Africa, making it one of the country's 3 capitals alongside Cape Town and Pretoria?
Eswatini.
Incorrect. Bloemfontein, is where the judiciary is based. Back over to Riley. What poet, whose poem Old Ironsides helped encourage the preservation of the USS Constitution, had a son who was a Supreme Court justice? Oliver Wendell Holmes Sr. Holmes is what we needed there, and that sound means our time is up for the round. Belvidere North added a little bit to its score. They're up to 80. Newman Central is 20. We got the fastest round in the game coming up. It's a lightning round. A lot of points available in that round, contestants. But first, you get to play at home with the Bergstrom bonus question, and we'll be right back with the answer.
Christoph Burrow, Chiristophebarreau. In 1954, which U.S. president signed a bill proclaiming November 11 as Veterans Day?
Halftime at an edition of the Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl means it's time for the Bergstrom bonus question. If you're watching at home, you saw it. Our contestants have not yet. Hands on your buzzers, contestants. No points on the line, but pizza and pasta from our friends at Lino's. Here is your question this week. In 1954, which U.S. president signed Brock?
Eisenhower.
That's correct. Signed a bill proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day. Maybe you already knew where we were going with that question, seeing as how this is Veterans Day weekend. Congratulations, you win the pizza party. We'll be back with more questions with points in our lightning round. Here is our point situation right now. Belvidere North, the Blue Thunder have 80, and the Newman Central Comet, Riley, has 20. Our lightning round features a lot of points. In fact, if you run one of these categories, it'll get you 100 points. Brock and the Blue Thunder won the coin flip, so these are the 3 categories that you have to choose from this week, Brock. State's highest points, Tigers, or DG words.
Tigers.
All right, you got it. Answer the following about Tigers. Nothing very cryptic about that one, right? But I will give you these clues. You give the answer. You get it right, 10 points. Run the category. It's 100. And then, Riley, you'll have 30 seconds to get to whatever they don't. So remember, you guys can pass, so don't eat up too much time on one question. And I will read these as fast as possible so I don't eat too much of your time as I read the questions. Brock, are you ready for your first one?
We're ready.
Here we go. 60 seconds is on the clock. Answer the following about Tigers. Apple computers whose OS had a Tiger edition.
Mac.
Correct. Culture whose zodiac has the tiger as the 3rd sign.
Chinese.
Correct. 11-time PGA Player of the Year.
Tiger Woods.
Correct. Cereal whose mascot is Tony the Tiger.
Frosted Flakes.
Correct. TV family from the 1970s that had a dog named Tiger.
Mary Tyler Moore.
Incorrect. Title alternative to the Tiger in a Frank Stockton story.
Pass.
ACC school whose teams are the Tigers.
Pass.
Country home to the Tamil Tigers.
Pass.
Genus containing tigers and lions.
Panthera.
Correct. 2001 novel that features a tiger named Richard Parker.
Pass.
And that is our time. So you added 50 points to your score, up to 130. Riley, there's 50 points left here. That'll boost you up to 70 if you get all of them, and you've got 30 seconds to go through them, and I will read them as quickly as I can. You ready for your first one? Answer the following about tigers. TV family from the 1970s that had a dog named Tiger.
Pass.
Title alternative to The Tiger in a Frank Stockton story.
Pass.
ACC school whose teams are the Tigers.
Pass.
Country home to the Tamil Tigers.
Pass.
2001 novel that features a tiger named Richard Parker.
Pass.
TV family from the 1970s And that's our time, 30 seconds. 30 seconds goes by pretty quickly, A, when you're by yourself, and when there's so many left on the board. I'll run through those answers very quickly for everyone. The TV family from the 70s that had a dog named Tiger, this question is clearly for your parents. That's the Brady Bunch. The title alternative to The Tiger in a Frank Stockton story, great cliffhanger short story. The title is The Lady or the Tiger, so we needed lady there. The ACC school whose teams are the Tigers, that's Clemson. The Tamil Tigers are in Sri Lanka. And the 2001 novel that features a tiger named Richard Parker. Fun fact, the art director on the film for this novel was actually Rockford's Dan Webster. It's The Life of Pi. That's one category down, one more to go. And Riley, you get to choose which direction we're headed. So the last two are either, let me turn my page here, state's highest points or DG words.
DG words.
You got it. You may be happy with this choice. Who knows? Give these words that contain the consecutive letters D and G in that order. So in the word, DG are next to each other in that same order, D and G. Does that make sense? All right, you'll have 60 seconds, and remember that pass option. Don't let the clock eat up too much time. And then, Brock, you'll have 30 seconds to clean up whatever Riley doesn't get to. Are you ready? Here we go, Riley. Here's your first one. Give these words that contain the consecutive letters D and G in that order. To evade an oncoming hazard, this word often precedes ball.
Pass.
A thick, milky gruel.
Pass.
A small, useful device.
Gadget.
Correct. To shorten or abbreviate a text.
Pass.
Fat, especially on the belly.
Pass.
A small club or blunt weapon.
Pass.
Boring, pedantic, and old-fashioned.
Pass.
A type of long-bladed, rush-like grass.
Pass.
To make small movements impatiently.
Fidget.
Correct. Colorful. We didn't have enough time to get to that last one. That's super hard to do by yourself there, but your strategy was great. You didn't waste too much time on them. You got 20 more points added to your score. Great job, Riley. Brock, you and the team, there's 8 left here, but you only have 30 seconds through them, and I will read them as quickly as possible. If you're paying attention, you may be able to blaze through these, who knows. But again, I'll work as quickly as I can for you. You ready for your first one?
Yeah.
Give these words that contain the consecutive letters D and G in that order. To evade an...
Dodge.
Correct. A thick, milky gruel.
Porridge.
Correct. To shorten or abbreviate...
Pass.
Fat.
Pass.
A small club or blunt...
Bludgeon.
Say that again.
Bludgeon.
Incorrect. Boring, pedantic, and old-fashioned.
Dodgy.
Incorrect. Wait, say that again.
Dodgy.
Incorrect. A type of long-bladed, rush-like grass. And that's our 30 seconds. We didn't even get to that last one. I'll run through these really, really fast. You matched each other point for point in that category. To shorten or abbreviate a text is abridge. Fat, especially on the belly. It's also one of the most popular characters in the video game Defense of the Ancients, Pudge. A small club or blunt weapon is cudgel. Boring, pedantic, and old-fashioned is stodgy. A type of long-bladed, rush-like grass is sedge. And the last one was a colorful Australian parakeet. That's a budgie. We have one round left to play here. If Belvidere North is on top, 150 to 40, Newman Central. We should just say Riley at this point. We've got one more round to play. It's our Mercy Health Final Challenge. We've got it for you after this break. We have one round left to play this week in Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl with the Belvidere North Blue Thunder against the Newman Central Comet. Riley. No matter how this ends up, Riley, you should be super proud of yourself. You've played a really great game. Let's see how this goes. In our final challenge, every question is worth 20 points, so that may look like a big gap, but we have seen teams overcome gaps that large and win our games. Hands on your buzzers, same rules as our first round, other than each question is worth 20 points. Everybody ready? Here we go. What island is home to the Space Force's Thule Air Base, which is 750 miles north of the Arctic Circle and is a large island belonging to Denmark? Brock.
Greenland.
Greenland is right. North gets the first question of this round. New Year's Eve in New Orleans features the dropping of a 6-foot-tall version of what symbol of French kings, also used in the logo of the NFL's Saints? Dannon.
Fleur-de-lis?
Fleur-de-lis is correct. 2 in a row for Belvidere North. What taxonomic class, whose name ends in S, contains the slow loris and the lemur, as well as Dannon?
Primates?
Primates is correct. Larger species, including chimpanzees and humans. That's 2 in a row for Dannon. Local theories cannot explain what quantum phenomenon in which measuring the state of one particle affects the state of another particle.
Uncertainty.
Paulo?
Oh, yeah. Uncertainty.
Incorrect. Riley, you can take these points. Tough question. Entanglement. Quantum entanglement. New question for both teams. In 2022, what celebrity agreed to pay the SEC $1.2 million over her promotion of Ethereum Max tokens and also divorced her husband, Brock?
Stephanie.
Incorrect. We'll clear the buzzers and continue for Riley. Her husband, Kanye West. A lot of people try to keep up with her and her sisters. Kim Kardashian. New question. Nazi soldier Corporal Lankus puts artistic decorations on concrete bunkers in what Günter Grass novel narrated by Danzig native Oskar Matzera? That novel's The Tin Drum. What event, which led to Husband Kimmel being relieved of command after the sinking of the USS Arizona, was 1941, Ethan?
Pearl Harbor.
That's right. Japanese sneak attack on Hawaii. Admiral Kimmel was actually in charge of the Pacific Fleet. In 1973, Salvador Allende was killed in a coup led by what right-wing general who then ruled Chile until 1990? That was Augusto Pinochet. What product often contains clay to increase its opacity, is made from a suspension called pulp, and consists of cellulose fibers in a flat sheet? Paulo.
Paper.
That's right. That's kind of a complex description of paper, and that is how we end the round. Belvidere North pulled ahead there, 250 points. Congratulations. You are moving on to the next round. First of all, Riley, you deserve some congratulations too. How about a nice round of applause for Riley? You should be super proud that you came here and took on a full team all by yourself. In fact, you did better than some teams do with 4 players. So you should be very proud of you. You know there are a lot of people watching and in this room who are very proud of you as well. Are you a senior? That means you'll be back, hopefully with some more teammates for you, right? Otherwise, you've proven that, I mean, you don't totally need them because you do just fine on your own. Belvidere North, congratulations. You're moving on to the next round. Who knows? Maybe returning or starting your march to a return to the finale, maybe another championship like the one you earned 2 seasons ago. And you will face the winner of next week's game between Rockford Lutheran and South Beloit. Hope you can join us for that matchup on Berkshire State Line.